It's been confirmed Wembley Stadium will be the venue where Dillan Whyte and Tyson Fury will go head to head. Welcome to Fight Club 24/7. My name's Johnny Rashman. Right, let's get straight into it. It's finally been confirmed the venue for Dillan Whyte and Tyson Fury, Wembley Stadium. Wow. I actually fear for this fight in the numbers it's going to generate, because well done to Dillan Whyte. He's sucked the enjoyment out from this fight. The shameful lack of promotion. He'll see it as I'm getting one over the WBC and I'm getting one over Frank Warren. Well, let me tell you something. Frank Warren paid more money than your promoter was willing to pay. So if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't be earning as much as you're earning, to be quite honest with you. I think it's a bad look for boxing. People can say, well, he's in dispute with the WBC, he should hold his ground and all that. Listen, I don't want to hear about that. There's wars going on. There's people who can't afford to pay the electricity bill. I don't care that Dillan Whyte's not earning an extra 4 million or 5 million. I don't care, right? And he's only hurting the fans by not promoting this fight. Let's be honest here. People aren't waking up thinking, oh, I can't wait to watch Dillan Whyte fight at Wembley Stadium. I've been waiting my whole life to watch Dillan Whyte fight. Oh my God, I need to watch that guy. I mean, he's like a Muhammad Ali. No one's saying that. The juicy thing about this fight was the build-up. That's what people wanted to see. How would Dillan Whyte cope with Tyson Fury? He's give it that for years and years and years, Dillan Whyte. And what's happened? He's come up against the master of mind games, the master of talking, and he's gone. Now we all know he's done it because he's had this attitude. I'll take my millions of pounds, right? F the promoter, F the fans, F the WBC. Me. I'll grab the millions of pounds because I'm entitled to it. You're not though, are you? And it's disappointing. I mean, the irony is, Eddie Hearn, I mean, this is just hilarious, the promoter, Eddie Hearn, the master promoter, right, who loves seeing people do well, by the way, loves it, has told the fighter not to promote a fight. I mean, what is all that about? If that's not putting yourself first, I don't know what is, right? Because let me tell you something. If Dillan Whyte went in hard on the promotion, right, okay, you might not be getting pay-per-view money, fine, right, okay. Where do you think your purse comes from, mate? You think that comes from the purse angel up there? Do you think broadcasters and promoters just wake up and go, you know what, I'm going to give Dillan Whyte £8 million, right, because he's that much of a star, I'm going to give him £8 million. Comes from the fans, doesn't it? The fans who purchase the tickets, who view your content, who likes your content, right? That's where it comes from. And I just can't believe that he's just decided to have this attitude. People may say it's mind games and all that. What a load of absolute nonsense. That's what will be spun at. Eddie Hearn will spin it as it's mind games, it's mind game. It's not mind games, is it? It's not a good look for boxing. Not a good look. The whole thing, as I mentioned, for this fight was the fans wanted to see a good build-up. You know, you've got a fight at Wembley Stadium. You want to see a big build-up. Right, and like I said, and what I was meant to say before was, okay, he might not be making money on the pay-per-view, but if he builds this up, right, and even if he loses the fight, but he puts in a good showing and it's a dog fight, his profile goes through there. So his promoter, right, Eddie Hearn, by him telling him not to promote this fight, that's not thinking of Dillan Whyte. That's just thinking of, you know what, I'll get one over them because I couldn't secure AJ and Fury. And the funny thing is, Eddie Hearn didn't want Dillan Whyte to have the fight, did he? That's the irony. That's the funny thing. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been going halfway around the world to the Middle East to try and get step aside money for AJ. So Tyson Fury fights Usyk. What would have happened to Dillan Whyte then? The bloke didn't want him to take the fight, did he? So, I mean, I find it funny, to be quite honest, that Dillan Whyte's actually taking the advice not to promote the fight. And people may say, oh, Eddie Hearn's not said that, but Eddie Hearn's come out in an interview and said it'll be funny, won't it? So that's what in his own words. And he can spin it as mind games, but it's just not a good look. I think it's completely disrespectful to Frank Warren. I don't care what anyone says, right? Whether you think it's his money, not his money, whether it's Mickey Mouse's money, it doesn't matter. He was the one who did the purse, right? He put his name to it, and he's the one who's giving Dillan Whyte millions of pounds. No one else is, mate. What other promoter is going to give you millions of pounds? No one, are they? So I just think it's a terrible look. I think if he would have gone full pout at this and really put the work in the promotion, then he would have been a bigger star afterwards with a good showing. What happens now is if he gets bombed out or if he gets clinically beaten and he's not put promotion in, his stock goes right down. He's not I don't know how he can be on pay-per-view again. You know, if he wins this fight or he loses competitively, but he's put on a show in the promotion and everyone's talking about it and everyone on the street is going, "You watching Whyte and Fury?" Then he can name his price, can't he? He can go to Sky Sports, he can go to DAZN. So I think it's a terrible, terrible look. I think it's a terrible advice not to promote the fight. He might see it in his head, well, I'm entitled to the millions. I should have got 45%, and I should have got this, and I should have got that. Well, you know what? Sometimes life isn't fair. And yes, I agree, he's been screwed over by the WBC, but that's not Frank Warren's fault. That's the WBC. That's their silly rulings. They've made up an 80-20% out of thin air, and that's bang out of order. But at the end of the day, you're still getting millions of pounds. And as I always say, the only people that you're hurting are the fans. It's the only people you're hurting. And I fear the numbers it does. The numbers it does. I really do. I mean, this is at Wembley. And people can say, well, Tyson Fury's a big star. I claim that he's a star. And he is a big star, Tyson Fury. He is. But you have to have a good dance partner. And as much as a bigger star Tyson Fury is, he's still not a bigger star than AJ. Because AJ and Canelo, no one's rivaled them in boxing. No one's rivaling them in boxing. They are the biggest names out there. Right? And Tyson Fury is behind that. He is a megastar, but he's still not the kind of star where he's going to fill Wembley Stadium without a good dance partner. And if Dillan Whyte doesn't put the effort in the promotion leading up to this, I fear what this does. I really do, because already the talk's really going down about it. You're not really, people on the streets aren't going, oh, you're watching Fury and Whyte. And the money that's been shelled out by Queensberry and Top Rank, and they're going to have to go to town in the promotion, because I tell you what, the way this is looking, I fear what the numbers it does. I really do. Look, taking away all that, I have ranted. It is frustrating, but the fight, I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. It's not a fight I'm clamouring for, but now that it's on, I am looking forward to it. I just wish that it had all the ingredients. For a mega fight, it's got to have certain ingredients. It's got to have the promotion. It's got to have the story. It's got to have certain things. It's not just a case of turning up and fighting. Even if the fight's great, it's not about that. It's about everything to it. That's what professional boxing is. We as fans want to see a good build-up. We want to see tables being thrown. We want to see people getting annoyed. We want to see how people handle that kind of things. And maybe Dillan Whyte, people may say he's doing a smart move by not getting involved with the mind games, but I just think you're hurting the fans with that. And I think it's very disappointing. I really do. It's going to be interesting to see what happens at these press conferences. I tell you what, because he could very easily go in there, Dillan Whyte, and did what Deontay Wilder did that time, and just with Fury, just keep the headphones on and not say anything. I won't put it past him, to be quite honest with you. I mean, the fight's happened. He's still not come out and acknowledged the fight, right? Let this sink in. Dillan Whyte is being paid millions and millions of pounds. He's fighting in a football stadium, the biggest fight of his life, the biggest purse of his life, fighting for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World, which he's been screaming about for the last 2-3 years. What happened to all that? Wilder, let's get it, or whatever he said. I can't remember what he said in that video. What did he say in that time? That video with Wilder, he was screaming. I can't remember. But anyway, he's not saying that now, is he? Right? And it's happened, and he's not come out and said one word about the fight. Now, I don't want to hear of people, right, saying he's playing mind games, Fine, play your mind games, mate. But why haven't you come out and said it's unheard of in boxing? It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable that he's not even wrote a sentence acknowledging the fight has happened. I've never seen it before. Terrible look for boxing. Let me know your thoughts. You're looking forward to it? Do you think I'm being harsh on Dillan Whyte? Do you agree? Do you think it's bang out of order that he's not promoting the fight? Let me know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you soon.